Kenny, we started the game off talking about the defense and what you guys wanted from the defensive end. What was so significant about what you guys did defensively from start to finish?
Oh, it was just a collective effort, like a collective focus. We kind of knew, right? It's on the road. It's a little bit different, like what we talked about before the game. You really have to lock in defensively. You're not going to make shots at the level you do at home, and our guys knew that was the key. You know, defending and winning the rebounding battle, you know, we really executed defensively, executed the game plan. You know, did a good job on Tyler. You know, keeping him, just trying to limit his touch. With great players, you can only try to limit their touches. So we did that. But Serena, I thought the key was in the beginning of the second half, they came out and they really raised their level, probably 3 levels, and we answered we weren't making shots, miss, and we kept getting stops, and we just had to keep our head above water. I felt like that beginning of the third quarter, and we weren't making shots, and that's usually when the game evens out, and we just kept it, kind of kept it where it is, because we didn't react to missed shots.
I think the other night you said something to the effect of DeAndre Hunter is going to be huge in this series.
Yeah.
He's going to win us games. You know, what do you make of what he was able to do without one of your starters tonight?
Great, and Ivory was going to talk about his offense, but defensively he was is everything we traded him for. You know, his physicality, his size, you know, be able to switch onto Bam, right? You know, having him and Dean be able to switch onto Bam, and you know, now we got Evan on Tyler, and it's just a real luxury. And then offensively, I thought he was great. I mean, he's so skilled. He shoots it. He can play pick and roll. Super talented player.
Can you guys start off? You down 12-4 at the first media timeout today. And then obviously things clicked quickly after that. What was the message in that?
Listen, Bam hit that super contested 3 in the corner, and then Ware hits a 3, and you're just like, that's where as a coach you just got to keep it like we're doing. We came out with the right mentality. Our disposition is good. We're competing. You know, I didn't feel like it was like, oh, we're not locked in, or it was a little bit bad luck. And then on the other end we had 2-3 open looks. So you really got to be, you know, not reacting to the score, which is weird, right? Like, hey, you know, but it's more what's really happening out there. What's the process like?
What did you think of what Evan did defensively today?
Oh man, I mean, you know, we've been really pushing him and JA to pressure Bam more, pressure Ware more. I think today was the like kind of we finally got there. We finally got where they were up and they were bothering him. He's a great quarterback. And you know, with us kind of top locking Tyler, it's a huge part of it. And then of course, you know, we got to our switching lineup with Dre and Dean. You can't forget about Dean tonight. I thought that little switch helped us. You know, just getting him more minutes. I felt like on the road we needed his rebounding. And that, you know, him and Isaac kind of switch roles, and I thought Dean was great.
I saw Max open the game on Tyler. Was that an adjustment, or had he been opening the games on him previously?
No, he started on him.
So was it more about just like you've been talking about, getting to your switch lineup a little bit differently that enabled you guys to throw more bodies at Tyler?
Yeah, I just think again that was kind of the Dean thought. You know, the Dean thought. You know, getting him in for, you know, as one of the top subs, and just to change it up. Again, I thought that helped.
And then we asked you before, or somebody asked you before the game about what Darius said or whatever. I know what you said.
Yeah.
Was his basic point true? Was that the game plan? Because it didn't really seem like you guys were attacking. Like you were doing all kinds of stuff today.
Listen, we do a lot of stuff, you know, and that's, you know, that's not our general philosophy. We're a ball movement team, but listen, there are situations like anything, you know, you wanna increase someone's defensive usage, that helps you on both sides. I don't, wouldn't say it was specific to one player. It's a little bit, things come out in the wash with the way we play.
You guys were without Darius.
Yeah.
Donovan didn't have his normal scoring production type of night.
Yeah.
When you're able to put together an offensive performance like that without those two guys at their normal levels, what does that just say to you? I guess?
Yeah, and I didn't think it's not like we shot the three a ton or shot it great, right? It was more the cutting, the give and goes we had. I thought we were driving. They were taking us off the 3-point line. We were driving it and getting into their paint. That's why we got those kind of big to big stuff and all that. So it was a really little bit of adjustment to how they were playing. But yeah, I mean that's who we've been all year. We're just we're deep and we're skilled, and we're not skilled just at the top 3 positions. We're skilled, kind of 1 through 12 rotation wise. Sam's super skilled, Max is skilled, Ty is incredibly skilled. So it's a little bit of product of the talent we have.
Jared? Top blocking Tyler, but every defense tries to do that. You
Yeah.
guys are still able to somehow cut him off from the rest of the offense. What else are you doing in the shift activity that prevents him from getting?
Yeah, I think raising our ball pressure level on Bam was that was part of it. And obviously when they have Ware out there, we have another safety net behind. And then just being aware, like you said, kind of pregame. They beat us with I think they beat us with 1 back cut. If they beat us with the back cut, we'll kind of live with it. Let's not overreact to that. And we just kind of stuck with the plan.
And then, usually they would try to bring in one of the guards for some switch hunting, but they were still bringing Bam into the screens, having Evan on him anyway. What is it about the way your lineups are composed and the way you defend that forces a team to go away from the obvious cross match?
Yeah, and I do think part of it is a top lock. It's harder to get to small screens. When you're kind of blocking that guy from going to set it. But again, the luxury we have is we have the rim protectors behind us, right? If you do screw up, you got JA back there, usually, or DeAndre too, 6'9", if we do make a, yeah, and it's hard as a coach. Sometimes you want to bring the 5 up because you don't want him at the rim, right? So I think that was probably part of their thinking too.
Chris?
Kenny, you spoke really highly of Max before the game, but can you just speak to the impact that he had on this one in particular?
Well, I think that highlight when he had the verticality, and I felt like the game was a little, maybe say it was, but it was a little and still could swing either way. So he gets the verticality right, and takes it right on the chest. I mean, they come down. I forget who came downhill, and he gets that, and then he runs to the other end, and then gets to wing 3 off the pass. I thought that was kind of personified who he's been this series and who he is overall as a player.
We had been asking you incessantly since DeAndre got traded here if he was going to be in the starting lineup or if it was going to be Max, and you kept going with Max over and over and over again. Is there something about him that just works so well with that starting group?
Max, you're talking about? Yeah. I think it's the content. They played together for, they know each other. Donovan has a trust in him. So part of this is coach, but part of it is player. And it's what we talked about before the game, Chris. He does all the dirty work. When you have superstars, we got kind of 4 stars. Who's going to set the screens? Who's going to attack the offensive boards? He's that ultimate role player that you need around great players, and he fits that. He fits that to a T. I'm not sure if you throw a high volume scorer in with that team that it works. That does that make sense? So that's kind of I think that's kind of why it works, is who Max is as a player.
Hi, Kenny.
Yeah.
Before the playoffs, you got a full week to rest, to prepare the game. Right now, you are pretty close to reach the 4th victory. So, taking in mind that the other game between Bucks and Pacers can be longer. How important is to resolve this quickly and to have a full week to prepare again the second
Yeah,
round?
it's a big advantage. Even coming into this series, the fact that we had 7 days in Miami, these guys they've been on the road. Like, we have a freshness advantage. It is. So same thing. That's what you want to have going forward. I've seen it. I saw it with the Warriors. You end up going with a game 7 with the team, then it's going to affect you in the next round, right? The sooner you can, end the series, the better. But listen, this is the Miami Heat, right? This is not going to be because of who they are, because of their character and their program and their coaching and the players they have. It's, game 4 is going to be. I expect it to be a tight battle. All right. Thanks, everybody.